Hey guys, welcome back to the next part of our series. Today we're going to continue with the baseball pitch. We're going to finish it, so let's go. This is where we left off. Let me just delete this motion trail, and this is what we have right now. So I think we're in a really good position. I think for an hour animation, this is looking very, very nice. Of course, if we invested a little bit more time and more resources into this, we can get to a very nice cinematic look in regards to the polish of the animation. But for an exercise, I think this is extremely nicely done, if I say so myself. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push some of the poses, and the main pose is this one. I think this one, especially since we're gonna have this like front view, could be a little bit more intense. So I'm just gonna go here. Let's go to our main pose, which is this one right here. And I wanna really like push this guy so that he's like really prepared like this. See how just like a very small change, like I don't need to move anything else. Just that very small change is gonna do everything. Now here, of course, we need to kind of like push it to the same size to create this sort of like force. And then boom, that's gonna be the explosive shot. So if we see this, it's a minimum, it's such a small frame that we're adding, such a simple frame as well. And just that small frame is more than enough to really give us that intense feel. That's the famous thing that they do with in-betweens in the old cartoons. They would like really exaggerate the in-betweens because they would only be there one. Like you can see it. If we see it right here, it looks very extreme. But when we play it, it goes so fast that we don't really see that much change because it immediately changes into the position that we're going for, right? Like this final throw that we're looking for. So that's it, guys. I think that's it for the animation. Let's talk about rendering because I want to show you a couple of tricks that we can do here with the cameras and stuff. So let me just see it one more time. See how this looks. There we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my main camera. Panels, look through selected, and this is what we're gonna see, right? I would definitely try to have like an infinite background here as well. So I'm just gonna push this like really far there. Let's grab all of these edges back here. All of this, let's just push it up and up. So when we do number 3, we get this very smooth transition. Let's go to the shot cam again. And the first thing I'm going to animate, besides all of the things that we've already animated, is the focus, right? So the focus is always going to be on the character. This is very important. Let's add a light real quick. So light, sky dome. Let's grab the sky dome. Insert an image plane here on the color, file. And we're going to do our typical peppermint flower plant. There we go. I'm going to leave it like this right now. Let's go to the system and change this to GPU from the get-go. And we render. Let's see how this looks. Not bad. I'm actually going to keep it like this. I'm not going to add any more lights. I'm going to... Or actually, no, I do need to add one light because I want to show you a nice effect here. So let's decrease the exposure to like a -3. So there's not a lot of light. And then we're going to do the same thing we did before. Just a light. Area light. And we're going to have a nice area light on top of the character. Now this one's going to be a little bit bigger because I do want to have a lot more light going into the scene. Let's say probably like a 10 exposure is going to be more than enough. Let's go to the render. That's good, probably a little bit more. So let's select the area light here. Let's say 12. Perfect, this is really good. So let's go to the final frames. that's amazing. It's going to look really cool, the final hit there. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to do the depth of field. So let's select the camera again. And down here, we're going to go into, well, we need to jump into the camera. So panels, look through selected. And I know that the character is going to be at 38 points of distance. Or 38 units of distance, which is 38 centimeters, by the way. This is Maya distance, so it's actually a very short distance. That's why the depth of field, we need very low values. If you scale this to real scale, you might need like bigger values. Just keep that in mind for future projects. So depth of field enable, focus distance is 38 at first. And let's say like 0.03, I think was what we used before. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, that looks okay. Now, if we move to frame like 44, which is when we're gonna start with the shot. I just want to make sure, yeah, we're still at like 37. So we pretty much keep the focus distance consistent. Now let's go to the frame where we get hit by the ball, because what I'm expecting to see here, especially when the ball is really, really close to us, is I'm expecting the ball to be like very blurred out. There we go, see, because it's not in focus. So it's just gonna be like a blur there hitting us. Now, here's where I might take an artistic liberty, break the laws of physics, and do the following. I'm just gonna grab this frame right here. I'm gonna keep it super close to the camera, like super, super close. This will mess up the speed, but since this is the last frame that we're gonna see the sphere, I don't mind, because I wanna see this frame right here. Like one frame before we die, that's what we see. We see the ball, and then we see the ball like really close, and then like boom, we just get hit. We fall. Here's where we're gonna start to fall, and here's where the new trick is gonna come into place. There's one thing here inside, I believe, the Arnold camera. Let me see if it was on the Arnold camera or not. There's one thing called, do we have it or not? Oh no, this was only on the old cameras. A sort of vignette, so everything gets darker. But we can do the same thing with the light. So I'm gonna go with the light here. I'm gonna keyframe the exposure, and then as we fall, let's render this. As we fall here, and here, here. Oh wait, did I add another? I think I might have added. No, there we go, that's the frame. So in this frame, I would expect this area light to be at 0, so there's no more lights, and I'm also gonna go like minus like 12 or something. So there's gonna be almost nothing. Now, unfortunately, the material of the character is not helping us, and the reason is it has like a Lambert or something. But I can change that real quick. Let me just stop here, and to change the material of the character on this scene only, because it's only gonna happen on this scene, we can just select everything, assign a new material. Let's do an Arnold AI standard surface, and we're just gonna do like this sort of like beige color that it had, like this yellowish color. So now if we take a look, since it is actually working with the proper materials now, we're not gonna see anything. So there we go. Unfortunately, we're not gonna see the joints. It's just gonna be the full character. But now I'm gonna go. Let me select the area light. I'm gonna click here. So time 71 is when we start the low. So here, the sky dome light, I am gonna set the exposure to -2, I believe was the number, and I'm gonna set key here, and then over here I'm gonna set this to -12, and this is gonna be set key. And also for the light, remember we need to go down to like 0 and set key. So now in those final frames where the camera is falling, what I would expect to see here. Oh, we're actually not seeing it. There we go. So in frame 71, we're going to be fine. And then frame 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, and see how little by little we're losing energy. I think here the sky dome might be a little bit too strong, like the -12 might be too strong. So let's go to like a -8 instead, or like a -6. There we go, or even -4 or -5. I think -7 was good. There we go. Maybe here, for instance, on the 84, we can still keep it like a -3. That way we don't instantly go into blacks. So we see all the light here, and then little by little we lose the light. And then at 86 we very quickly lose the light until we shut down all the way to blacks, right? Like it's like a fade to black, but instead of doing it on the post-production side of things, like on After Effects or Movie Maker or whatever, we're doing it directly here inside of the camera and Maya. And there we go. So now if we take a look here, panels, look to selected, this is what we got. Pretty good, right? So again, this is just like it's 90 frames, so it's about almost 4 seconds, which can then transition into like a logo or like a voice clip or something. And this is totally useful. It's only a 5 second animation. It took us about an hour to finish. So with this, hopefully you can see how much work actually goes into animations. It does take quite a bit of time, but it's very rewarding. So I'm gonna stop the video right here, guys. We're gonna do one more big exercise like this one, and then we're gonna jump into some extra topics just to finish off our course, where we're gonna be talking about non-keyframe animation, some other animations that I wanna mention for you. So hang on tight, and I'll see you back on the next one. Bye bye.